Hello and welcome to the Adem podcast. Today we have an incredibly inspiring story that highlights the intersection of innovation and collaboration. My guest is Khaled Bashir, the CEO of Sidekick, an innovative tool designed to enhance email marketing for e-commerce businesses. Sidekick is the brainchild of Khaled, his wife Sahar, and his best friend from university, who at this moment shall remain nameless. Together, they combine their expertise in paid media and email marketing with cutting-edge capabilities of ChatGPT to create a tool that helps businesses craft beautiful emails quickly and efficiently. What used to take hours with Sidekick now takes mere minutes, transforming the way small businesses handle their email campaigns. It's really interesting. The story started as a tool that they built for their own agency, which they've opened up to the public. In this conversation, Khaled shares the journey of Sidekick from its inception to its upcoming public launch this August. We'll delve into some of the core automated flows that small businesses should focus on, such as welcome series, abandoned cart, and post-purchase emails, as well as strategic campaigns that drive engagement and revenue, such as new product spotlights, problem-solution emails, and personal letters from the founder. Khaled also opens up about the tingling moments, realizing Sidekick's potential, and the overwhelmingly positive feedback from its early users. He shares some anecdotes of their initial beta launch 8 months ago and how public reception, including viral LinkedIn posts, has fueled their excitement to drive to make Sidekick even better. Throughout our discussion, you'll hear about their go-to-market strategy, which includes leveraging LinkedIn, personal newsletters, and eventually will be paid ads. Khaled also provides insights into industry trends, such as the evolution of AI tools in video and image editing, and how Sidekick aims to create personalized brand voices for its users. The culture at Sidekick is centered on learning, having fun, and building something incredible, and I'm honored to share their story with you. As a beta user of Sidekick myself, I've seen firsthand how it's improved our email marketing efforts at Wellwoven, turning what used to take hours into a task that can be completed in minutes. Thank you for tuning into the Adem podcast. I sincerely appreciate your time and attention. Join me as I dive into this enlightening conversation with Khaled Bashir, and together, let's explore the future of email marketing with Sidekick. Thank you. Yes, sir. Where are you today? Are you in Toronto?
Toronto, yeah, working
Cool.
from today.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Cool, brother. Well, welcome to, I'm excited to do this conversation. I was looking forward to having this call. You are a very interesting guy from e-commerce. You worked in sporting industry, blankets, hush blankets, where you are you for a little while, or I'm sorry, that was in the past. But today you have a very cool, very innovative tool for marketers. So I'm excited to talk about that. I was checking out your LinkedIn. You're very humble, thought follower, and marketing non-expert. I think you're very humble in that regard. Very humble. So appreciate your time. It was a pleasure getting to meet you recently. You've been actually really supportive to us with using the tool. Tell me about, where did the idea come from for Meet Sidekick? And why don't you tell us about what Meet Sidekick is as well?
Absolutely, man. So Sidekick is it's basically a tool that you can think of it as a mix between Canva and ChatGPT, right? And the whole purpose of this is to help e-commerce businesses, especially small e-commerce businesses, where the founders are often wearing like 15 different hats, doing pretty much everything in the business, for them to make emails, beautiful emails, as fast as possible. And the idea for it came because so you mentioned Hush. Yes, I was working at Hush a year and a half ago, and then I took my job eventually when they were acquired by Sleep Country to then go and create my freelance practice, which is now turned into an agency. And over time, we cut down our services from before we used to do Facebook ads, emails, and websites, and then eventually we just cut it down to email marketing. So we had been internally thinking about how do we make the email process a lot more optimized, right? So that we can, because if it's more optimized, we can charge lesser, we can pass on those savings to our clients. And that's the positioning that we wanted to take in the market. And then enter ChatGPT, and my mind was blown away, right? And then basically over a period of 2 weeks, we were able to start incorporating it in our processes, and start really driving down the cost of email, not just copywriting, but also your audience research and things like that. So we were like, wow, this thing has multiple applications. Well, one thing it doesn't do well is the design part, but maybe we can build something that actually kind of automates the design as well. So that's what we set out to do, and the goal was to use it initially within our business itself, to service our clients. But then we realized, with what we had built, it's actually the idea is so easy to grasp that it seems like a lot of small businesses were also interested. And then when we released the beta, many of them used it. You guys have used it. You have sent out some emails from the tool as well. So
We're
yeah,
getting ready to pump it up. We're getting ready to build out our summer campaign with it.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where the tool is at right now.
Where do small businesses, where do they struggle? What are some of the pain points? What do small businesses have to think about and get right when making email? We have our flows. You have your welcome series, you have your abandonment cart, then you have campaigns. Like, where were some of the insights that you found in your journey in building this tool?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So there's three things that are crucial for small businesses, right? The first one is you need to be collecting leads, right? So anybody that comes to your website, at minimum, you need to have a pop-up and an embed footer form to collect email addresses and ideally phone numbers as well from people, right? So once you have them in your system, then there's two things. One is your automated flows, and two is your campaigns. With automated flows, you want to make sure that when somebody signs up, they receive the welcome flow, right? And the welcome flow, depending on what kind of store you are. So you guys are selling rugs, right? There's a lot of different varieties of rugs. For your brand, the strategy, I assume, would be something like somebody opts in. You want to quickly tell them what your brand mission is, who you guys are, and then while their intent is hot, this is key, right? This is key even in sales. Like even when I'm selling to agency, as an agency, when we're selling to small businesses, there's a certain time period when their intent is very high, and that is when we want to capture them. So the welcome flow should be designed in such a way to capture their high intent, funnel people to your best sellers, show them the different varieties of stuff you have, right? With needed, segmented by your color, the different styles of patterns, whether that's tribal patterns or mosaic patterns, whatever you have. You want to show all of these things to the customer so that they have the best opportunity of discovering your best-selling items or something that they're going to like and purchase. So that's there. And then, of course, if they add something to cart and leave, then they get the abandoned checkout. And the abandoned checkout flow, the abandoned cart flow as well. In Klaviyo, it's if you're using Klaviyo, then these two are actually separate. And then, of course, you have your post-purchase flow, where if somebody buys from you, then you want to make sure that they have the best post-purchase experience. Meaning, certain rugs are meant for wood, maybe some are not. So you want to ensure that they know whatever they bought, like where it can go, where it can, and how to take care of it. And you guys also sell machine washable rugs.
Some are washable, yeah, exactly.
So all of that information has to be there in the post-purchase flow. And then, of course, like hopefully, if they bought one rug and they like it, then you can get them to buy more rugs as well. So that is also going to be a function of your post-purchase flow. So those are the core automated flows. And then, of course, there's campaigns, right? And the way we think about campaigns is you're going to have seasonal events, which are very easy to grasp and understand. Like if there's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day, you're probably going to do a sale on those days, right? If discounting is a part of your brand strategy. So those are, of course, some key campaigns that need to go on. But even when there's no sales, right? Even when you're not in a sales season, you want to use campaigns to reach out to your customers at least once a week. And depending on how your list is responding, how big it is, it might even be worth it to send 2 or 3 a week. In fact, we work with some clients who are like, at the moment, let's say they're selling between 15 to 20 million per year. For a brand that size, they're sending 30 email campaigns a month. Right, so that's one a day. Of course, it's not all campaigns are going to everybody. So it's important to keep track of what are your unsubscribe rates like. You want to make sure it's always below 0.5%. What's your spam complaint rate? You want to make sure it's less than 0.1%.
How do you do this? So they're sending how many? 40? You say 30 campaigns a week or a month?
Sorry, not a week, a month.
A month.
Thanks. Yes.
And so within that 30, there could be a sale. Is there a new product launch? What does that 30 sort of comprise of? What's like the mix? What are the common suspects or maybe in this specific case, what are they doing?
Yeah, absolutely. This is an apparel brand, right? And of course, the campaign strategy is going to be different for different kinds of brands. But for apparel brands, there's a lot of levers you can pull. So of course, there's your typical sale emails, but then another very popular one we call is a multi-product spotlight, where you just take a few different products, right? And you can literally just select three products and show them off in your emails. And you can group them in interesting ways as well, right? You can group them by colors. You can group them by whether you know either jeans or t-shirts. If you have a new collection that just dropped, you can group them as a collection.
Love it. So
So yeah,
if
that
it's
is
summertime, it's a summer collection.
exactly,
Yeah. Yeah. So each
exactly.
week they're just pushing or promoting either new products or top
Yes,
sellers and cycling through those. Yeah.
there you go. You can also have it frame it as a bestsellers campaign, right? So where you have these are our bestsellers for the past 3 months. You can also get more creative with it, right? So what you can do, and we love doing this with any brands that's selling apparels, or you know if they have different designs of things, then we ask customers to vote which one they think is going to be the bestseller this month or this quarter,
Oh, that's
right?
smart.
And then yeah, at the end of the month, what we do is anybody who guessed right gets a discount code that hey you guessed right, so here you get
30% off or something.
get
Yeah.
30%
Yeah.
off, 20% off, 10% off, whatever makes sense for your margins. So that's another way to frame it. So this is the second most revenue driving email within sales is a multi-product spotlight
And
email.
tactically,
And then
how
of
do you
course
do that? Sorry to interrupt you. How do you engage? What mechanism are you, or what tool are you using for the voting? They're clicking, they're driving to like a web page, a landing page that has like some sort of a voting mechanism, or is it going tactical
yeah,
for 30
yeah, for
seconds?
sure. Fortunately, for emails, you don't need to go to any other tool. If you're using a tool like Klaviyo or Sendlane, right? Sendlane makes it very easy. They have a tagging feature where any buttons can be tagged with like you know, let's say I'm sending out an email that has a red, blue, and yellow T-shirt, and each of them, whether it's an image or it's a button, I can tag them with red, yellow, blue. And then I can just count the total number of clicks on the tags, and also it recognizes every single person that has clicked on that.
Oh,
So
okay. So
from
it's
that, yeah,
in email voting. So you click it, it's just a button. It doesn't take you to
exactly.
another piece. Okay.
So ideally, you want to take them to the website, right?
Oh, okay.
Like, the goal, of course, is that we want to take them to the website because if they end up on the website, they like something, you know, let them buy now. We don't want to link you. We don't want them to wait until the end of the month. But the idea is we want to capture within the email tool the data that this person voted for the blue shirt, the yellow shirt, or the red shirt. Same with Klaviyo. So you can attach custom properties to your buttons. And the technical setup of that is a bit difficult to describe, but the idea is still the same that when they click the button, something gets stored attached to their profile that you know this person voted for this shirt, and then at the end of the month you can make a segment of all the people who clicked on blue as their vote, and if that's the best selling pattern, then you just select that segment and send them the sample.
Cool. Love that, man. Awesome. So new product spotlights. You walked us through a few different
Yeah,
strategies. Yeah.
yeah, new product spotlight, and then of course you know you need to use email campaigns strategically depending on what SKUs you need to get rid of. Right, sometimes you're overstocked, so you let people know that you're either your clearance or prices on markdown. There's an overstock and short lease. Whenever you have new products, you want to let people know. You want to highlight social proof, right? Anytime you've been featured in press articles, it's a great way of
It's a great
highlighting.
email.
That's a great email. Any interesting reviews you have, right? And by reviews, you know, go for the long reviews. Well, one mistake I see brands doing is they'll just go for like short reviews that say, "Oh, you know, this product was a game changer." That review doesn't really tell me anything
It's easy to create
about
that. Yeah. Yeah.
right. So it's very generic. It could apply to anything. So when you're going for reviews, we go for medium to long length reviews, right? And we look for reviews specifically. Like sometimes when you're reading reviews, you'll see that the person's personality really shines through, right? Like they have a certain way of speaking. So those are really good. If they describe the benefits of the feature and features of the product, that's
Hmm.
also really good.
Hmm.
And also if they describe a transformation, right? This is, I guess, more relevant to health and wellness products. But with health and wellness products, when they talk about, you know, before my life was this and now my life is this because of the product. Those are excellent reviews. So when you're selecting reviews, just make sure you know you're not going for the generic. Oh, this was a game changer, or oh, I absolutely love this product. Like that doesn't
Should be
help. That doesn't
details.
register
Should
your
be
product.
details. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The details. The details are what's important. So make sure you're going with reviews that actually contain specific details about what products they bought and how it impacted their life.
Yep. Love that. Awesome. So there's new releases, there's overstocks. social proofs, review. These are different. These are segments, or these are types of emails within the tool. Is that right? You guys have automation. Not well, yeah. Within Sidekick, you can send these type
So
of.
that's exactly the idea. With Sidekick, what we're trying to do is another thing that I realize, speaking to business owners, that they don't know what to send. They send the sale emails, and then they understand the concept of sending bestsellers. That makes sense. But like, what else if I'm sending 3 emails a week, right? They see the potential. They're like, okay, we're sending 2 emails, we're making money.
Mhm.
Non-subscribe rates are not up. We want to send more, but then how many more times do we just keep talking about our product?
Bestsellers or closeouts.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're doing is now we internally we have identified about 20 to 25 different types of these emails that I'm discussing with you, right? There's a whole list of 20 to 25 different types of emails that we have, and we're building them within Sidekick. So then now you can just log in, and the first thing that you select is what type of email campaign do you want to send, and there's like 20 to 25 suggestions. So you can be like, okay, I've done sale emails, I've done product spotlight emails, I've also done reviews, testimonials, press mentions, all of this is done. What else can I send that I haven't tried yet? Right. And yeah,
Tell
that's
us.
that's one of the ideas, to make it like super easy so that you can select
Yep.
a new type of email that you want to send.
Yep. Can you give us a couple more examples? Tell us. You don't have to give the full 20, 25, but a few others that you're most excited about.
Absolutely. Yeah. So one of my favorite ones is actually problem solution email. And this is very specific with products. Of course, it has to be a functional product, right? Wouldn't make sense for a t-shirt. I guess unless you're a true facet, they claim to solve a big problem. Yeah, problem solution emails are great. Now, typically the problem with problem solution emails is when we think about it, it's like the only way to make it is a very long text-based email. But often brands, they don't want to do that. They want to use images and other graphical elements within the email. So we have created kind of a format that's a mix. It uses text, but not a lot of text,
Mm.
right? The important part is that for a problem solution email, the structure is really what's key. So you start with the problem, you tease it, you amplify it, you present your product as a solution, then you list the benefits and features of your product, and then, if possible, plug an offer at the end. Right. So that's one of my favorite kind of emails whenever we try that. And that's another thing we do is with all of our clients, we have a very strict system of tagging emails. So every single email that goes out gets tagged with one of these types that they belong to, and then over time you can actually see which types of emails are working the best. So problem solution happens to be one of the best performing emails across any brands that are selling a functional product that promises to bring about a change. So that's definitely one of my favorite ones. Another one that I really love is so this one, few images but more words, but this is a plain letter email directly from the founder
Oh,
talking about why they created the brand, what their mission is, what they're trying to achieve, and what all they've achieved so far, right? And if you want to add something interesting to it, you can also have like just a small photo and a signature of the brand owner at the end of the email as a sign off, just to add some more authenticity to it. So that is also a format we haven't we are it's not in Sidekick yet, but we are trying to figure this out. But that is again another excellent email, and this works across all industries. So we have never seen it not work, whether it's apparel, whether it's health and wellness, supplements, whatever it is. That this kind of an email, you of course have to use it sparingly. Like if every single email was that, it wouldn't work, right? That's the idea with all the email types.
but
But
people
yeah,
want to know why. People,
exactly.
yeah,
If it's a while, it will.
authenticity. Yeah, cool. Where would you lead a landing page like that, or an email like that? Where would that go to? Sale page, or what's the funnel look like for that type of email?
Yeah, most of our emails, I would say, except for the FAQs emails, we have an email that's only for FAQs. That usually goes to the FAQs page of the website. But any other email, we try to make the focus, or at least in some way, talk about a certain product in the email, and then the idea is a product art collection, and then the click takes you to that product art collection. Because ultimately, if we are trying to drive up a revenue with emails, the goal has to be to take people back to the site, directly to the product or the collection where they can complete their purchase. Right? That's usually the goal with the emails, and that's really too.
Got it. Cool, man. Awesome. So very interesting product. So we talked about a few emails that you guys are, what pain points of shop owners, smaller, independently owned shops, and even larger retailers to some of the solution you're building. But the story of how you created the tool or what led you there is quite interesting. Can you tell me a little bit about sort of what got you to Sidekick? So you have an agency.
Yeah.
So you left your corporate job, you started the agency, and you mentioned ChatGPT came out, and boom, Sidekick was born. Can you kind of walk us through sort of what led to Sidekick? What was sort of the innovation? What's your role in sort of building Sidekick? From what, tell me about that.
Okay.
That was a lot there.
You like it real truth how it came to me? So,
Give it to us.
right, okay. So this is interesting. So the idea was really sparked by ChatGPT, right? And what happened was this one day, which was I think back last year around February, right? So we had been experimenting with ChatGPT for a month or so. In February, what happened was we had an email due for a client over the weekend, like on Monday, right? And it was like Friday night. And my team was gone. Everybody had logged off, right? And we, for whatever reason, the email wasn't done. And I had a few drinks that night. And then I just remembered, I'm like, oh shit, we gotta get this thing sorted out, right? And so I just sit on my computer, barely functional, and I'm trying to build this myself.
Been there
And
before. I've been there before.
right? So I'm trying to build this thing myself, and it's been a while because I hadn't created an email myself for a long time, right? I was like, okay, the copy, we have some good prompts. I can use ChatGPT to get that done. When it came to the design part, I was like, man, if only like, ChatGPT could design this email for me too, like that would be the dream. So that's what the thought came to me. I'm like, hey, wait a second. Why can't design be automated as well? Right? If you think about the design of an email, because when we function inside the agency, everything has to be efficient, right? Because for us, time is money. So we have some very systemized process about how designs fit together, right? So I was looking at, I literally opened up our design library, and I'm like, yeah, all these blocks are pretty repeatable, right? The way they work is we combine different kinds of blocks and combine different kinds of designs.
Modular. Yep.
Right. And we're already doing this manually. Like our designer is already picking and combining different things. Why can we not have the software do this? And so the next morning, when I was sober, I just immediately, I messaged my business founder, and I messaged my best friend who happens to be the one developing, because he's a developer. He loves just. I don't think he even cares about making money or anything. This guy's just crazy. One of those types who just loves
Engineering
figuring out
problems. Yeah.
yeah, my COO at the agency and my co-founder, she's a different person. She's actually got all the design and everything, and she's more grounded, more smart. So I always keep suggesting like dumb business ideas to her, and she was like, "Wow, the first time you came up with something that actually seems like it has potential and makes a lot of sense." So yeah, I spoke to both of them. They were like, "Okay, this is interesting. Let's try it out." So yeah, we built, and then over the next few months, we built something just for internal use. And we started using it in the agency, and I couldn't believe it when for the first time we made an email only with Sidekick, send it to a client, and he just approved it straight away. They're like, "Yeah, this is good to go."
Wow. What is that feeling like? That
That was
first
cool.
time.
That was
Yeah.
like, wow, did this just really happen? We spent like 3 minutes making this email, as opposed to the usual, on average, it
Hours.
takes us anywhere from 1 to 2 hours to make a really solid email. And that is after having all of the processes that we have in place that we had to, build over a year. So to see that, that thing was approved in such a short time was like, wow, this is incredible. And then we realized, it's much bigger than what we were thinking. Like it doesn't just have to be an internal agency use tool, because it's the idea is we want to make it so intuitive and so easy to use that anybody at any skill level can just log in, and they're just like following. It's almost like you're just installing the software to your computer. You just press next, next, next. Same thing,
It's
just press next,
intuitive.
next, and it's done.
Yeah. Was there a single moment where you got that like tingly feeling? I was going to ask you that. You kind of mentioned that first customer. Was there a tingly moment feeling where you're like, this idea could actually work?
So many tingly feelings, man. The very first one was when we tried the tool for the first time. So my co-founder, he just put something together. It was just like it's gonna take an image, put the text on it, right? So text written by GPT, just impose it on an image along with the logo and everything, and in certain brand and color settings. When we first saw that, although that would never be approved for use by anybody because it looked an ugly as hell, but to see that it worked was insane. You were like, wow, okay, this concept works. Like we can actually use this. It's about fine tuning it now so that it looks cohesive, it looks beautiful. That's what we have to solve. So that was incredible.
Are you guys all in the same office, by the way? Are you guys working remotely or same office? Was it like a
so
Zoom call where you guys demoed this for the first time? Where was that first demo? Where you saw the ugly first draft?
it was in the Starbucks actually. So
Okay,
we often meet
cool,
up in cafes to work together
cool.
around downtown Toronto. And yeah, that was that day we happened to be in Starbucks. I remember very clearly which Starbucks we were at. And
Which one was it?
so it was the one on
I don't know
it's
Toronto too
right
well.
beside.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. So it's yeah, so it's gonna be hard to describe, but it's basically on the intersection of Bloor and Runnymede.
Okay.
There's a Starbucks over there, and that's where we first put it, saw what an email from Skype could potentially look like. So yeah, a lot of meetings over there. And the next one was when I posted a video of making an email on LinkedIn. And, back then I used to get like maybe 5 likes on a link. Right. And when I did that one, it was like 50 comments, 100 likes, and I was like, wow,
Who's this guy, Khaled? This guy's got, yeah, that's awesome.
yes. So I
So that
was
was your
shocked.
validation. Yep.
Yeah, I was for me that was like a vote of confidence from the public that this is something that they would be interested in. And then when we launched the beta, and literally just from organic posts, I made like 3 organic posts, and we got 700 visitors, 700 people sign up, 350 of them made an email, and many of them stuck, right? And we had some very interesting people. Messages reach out to us like, hey, are we accepting funding? What's the plans on the product? So just to see all of that interest was just like mind blowing to me.
That's
Because
amazing, man.
usually, as an agency owner, I'm like begging people, like, hey, can we do some work for you? This is the first time that people are like coming to me and be like, hey, put your plans on the product. So that was incredible, man. Like, I love that feeling.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. I think that's where saw you on LinkedIn. You've been pretty active there since, or over the last, I think I came across your content maybe 8 months ago, almost a year ago. When did Sidekick actually launch?
Yeah, Sidekick actually launched, the beta launched around that time. That's the first time I made posts.
Okay, cool, man. Awesome. Yeah, you're very active on LinkedIn. That's amazing, bro. And I guess what was really helpful for me is seeing one of your videos. And then I think I commented there, you gave me access. And I remember logging in the first time. It was like a little clunky. You had to give me special access to get into it. And I think I had to email you to get credits to be
Yeah,
able
yeah,
to use the software. It was kind of a cool process. Like I was like, he's a startup. He's kind of like us. He's figuring it out.
yeah,
And so you'd email us a link. We'd pay on the link when you get credits, something like that. But the first time I saw it as a business owner, I'm used to working with a designer, working with a copywriter. So like you mentioned before, it's hours of work to put together an email or a series of emails. So this was just like mind blowing. As a small shop, we have a small D2C Shopify store. So each sale would be hours of work. So this was just extremely eye-opening. And thank you, man. Thank you for creating this product. I'd love to hear about, I guess, who are the founders of the product, of Sidekick? Walk me through sort of the team and sort of like what everyone's responsibilities or roles within bringing this product to life.
absolutely. So there's me and there's two other co-founders. So the first one, she's also my co-founder at our agency. She's really the chief operating officer and also the chief designer behind everything that you're seeing. So all the different designs that you see, and the way the app works, right? Like just thinking about the UX, the UI, all of this was done by her. And what's incredible is that before we started working on the project, she had zero coding experience, but she learned coding and started contributing to the code, right? And now she has substantially contributed to the code. So I'm just amazed at her adaptability. Oh, she also happens to be my wife. Her name's Sahar.
Oh,
So,
amazing. That's
yeah,
awesome. Husband and
yeah,
wife team. That's amazing, bro.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's
Same
her
here at Well
role.
Woven. It's also husband and wife team.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
incredible.
Yep. Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, so she has been a key part of this, of course. And then my other co-founder is actually my best friend from university. It's a funny story. We met when he was showing me. We were just playing pool in one of the buildings at U of T, and he comes and shows me. He's like, "Hey, look at this cool like AI app that does math equations. And you just point your camera at it, and then just sees what math equations on the paper, and it crunches the numbers." And like, wow, that's pretty cool. So the thing that we are also building a company together right now that uses AI in some ways. Just fascinating to me. I had no idea at that time that we were going to do something like this. Well,
What's his
yeah.
name, by the way?
So he actually wishes to remain anonymous.
Anonymous. Okay. Okay.
Actually, I
We'll
cannot.
respect his wishes.
Eh?
Okay.
But yeah, his full-time job, he works at another SaaS business. This is just something he picked up. He thought it was
Side
going to be a
project.
fun project, but turns out it's a lot bigger than that. So yeah, he's been having fun with it. We also recently hired another developer to help a front-end developer to help speed up things. So
Okay.
that's our team right now. It's four of us. Three of us are co-founders and one full-time developer.
Okay. Cool. And what's your role within the company? I was gonna ask you, are you doing some of the coding? Um,
I
what's
have
your, yeah.
Sometimes I also learned a little bit of coding to sometimes help them with some very boring tasks, right? I wouldn't say I've contributed substantially to that, maybe less than 0.01%. So that's what I do. Other than that, I make posts on LinkedIn. I talk to people like yourself about the product. So far I've been pretty dormant. I'm hoping once the tool is fully ready for public access, that's when my work's gonna begin.
Marketing push. Cool, man. Awesome. What are you thinking about growth in terms of growth strategy, in terms of marketing, and in terms of staffing? What's the go-to-market at a top level? What are you thinking about? And what sort of timeline?
Okay, so the timeline right now is we are expecting a launch in August, a full launch where everybody can just, go to the website, sign up, and I don't have to email them credits anymore. They can just put in their credit card and purchase. So
Uh,
that's the plan, and hopefully that's gonna happen in August. And the go-to-market strategy, like
I love
we're
that though.
gonna,
The email Khaled to get credits. You should keep that as like a legacy. For those that like the original bunch, like they can
yeah,
always email for
for their
some extra
original
points.
customers. Yeah. Also, yeah. So, well, of course, the very first thing we're gonna do is reach out to everybody who has made an account in the past, and used it. And yeah, everybody who used it in the past, I promised them they're gonna get a different pricing than what we're gonna launch with, and that's still true. So, yeah. That'll be the first part. Reach out to everybody who signed up previously, give them the discount code, let them know about it. And then I also have a personal newsletter that I've been growing for the last few months. It's not a lot of people, 1,000 people in there. That's going to be the second source that we email because it's all related to email marketing as well. So hopefully it's going to be a high affinity audience. And then of course there's LinkedIn. So far pretty much every single person that has used the app has heard about it through LinkedIn and then through people who have seen it on LinkedIn and told them about it, which was great to hear. Like I spoke to some people and they said that it was through word of mouth, and I was like, wow, that is incredible. Because
You're
my
big on
experience,
LinkedIn. You're big on LinkedIn, man. You have close to
is that
10,000 followers. I think, well, not almost 9,000 as of now. And your posts you're within the community. You're well known, man. You got to give yourself some credit.
yeah, man, I've been blessed to get to know many many incredible people. Right, I'm on call with one of them right now. But yeah, so many more, so many incredible people within the email marketing community. So yeah, we wanna continue using LinkedIn as our main organic growth strategy, and then in order, it's gonna be TikTok, and Instagram Reels, Twitter, YouTube. Right, so we're gonna hit all of the organic channels first. And then the target is if we can get to 100 paying customers organically, that's when we plan to switch on ads. And I can't wait for it because honestly, emails is something that I only started a year and a half ago. My background completely is in paid ads. I had to take a break from paid ads just because I was facing burnout, and it was really my day was being dictated by the ups and downs of the ads manager. So I had to actively take a break from it for my personal health
Oh,
reasons. I'm
wow.
actually super excited, man. I want to get back into advertising, and if I can do that for my own product, that's 50 growth.
100 paying customers, organic paying customers.
That's
That's
the
the
goal.
goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, man. Awesome. And why that milestone? Is that's a goal that you guys have set internally as a team? Sort of
Yeah,
before we start
exactly.
paying? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We just, internally we thought, no particular reason why, but we just thought, 100 sounds good. It sounds realistic. It sounds doable based on the stats that we're seeing. Because we were able to get, 700 users just on the back of 3 posts, and right now I haven't posted about it in months. Because every time I do, my co-founders get angry. They're like, the tool is not even fully done. And all these people are coming and trying it, and then they get a bad experience, and we don't want that. So please stop posting about it. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. It's a bit too excited, but I'll stop talking about it. So yeah, but I'm
It's a good
just,
problem to
I'm
have.
super hyped. I can't wait to start posting about it again.
Awesome, bro. Industry insights. What do you see happening in the industry in terms of AI tools, that are sort of making marketers' lives easier?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there anything that's sort of inspiring you indirectly? Like, what are you seeing trend wise, 2024 into 2025? Anything on your minds?
Yeah, man, I think the next couple of years, it's just going to be all these AI tools evolving, right? So right now, there are a lot of AI tools already in the market. Some pretty interesting stats I saw was on Upwork. I think the total number of job postings for writing jobs actually went down by 30% year over year ever since
I believe it.
ChatGPT came out.
I
Other
believe
things
it.
weren't as affected, like video editing, graphic editing. They were not as affected. The reason for that is because there aren't any tools out there right now that perfectly do the job, right? It's the same. It's the same with Sidekick as well. So far it's been pretty broken. So you can't actually today not everybody can just take it and start using it. It wouldn't meet the criteria for a lot of people. So I think what's going to happen over the next year is there's a lot of these tools out there. Like if you want to do video editing, there's Opus Clips. Right, we have actually used it because we have some legacy advertising clients, and for them, they just
It's
tried it out.
amazing.
They approve the videos immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
CapCut's great.
there you
Get
go.
some of the
CapCut is
features.
amazing, right? And everybody's coming up with these AI features that are automatically going to edit. You just give it a long video, it edits, puts captions in there, selects the best clips. You can even, I think I saw a beta feature recently where you can even tell like what angle you want to take with the video. Right, and then it focuses on both cutting out those clips and trimming those clips from within the video and then editing them. So yeah, the video, we're going to see some interesting developments. And of course, OpenAI themselves came up with their video generation model.
Hmm.
So now not only editing your own clips, but AI will be able to generate tips and
Continue the story, build onto the
exactly.
story. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to happen. Same thing with, image editing apps. I saw them when they first started rolling out just a couple of months after, I've came to know about ChatGPT and tools like Midjourney and Stable Diffusion. I saw a few ecom specific image editing apps where all they do is you give them a cutout of your product and they put it in different backgrounds, right?
Mm.
And a year
Yep.
ago, it was honestly it wasn't that impressive. Like it really looked fake. But we tried it out recently, and it's crazy, man. Like you can't even tell the difference anymore, right?
Clear. Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's there as well. I think they have almost perfected the use of the tool now. It's just about adoption and awareness, and both of these things are going to go up over the next 1 or 2 years.
Yep.
So
Same thing
yeah,
for textile design. In textiles, we're able to upload and
right,
it gives us back alternatives,
right,
alternate patterns, colorations, and they're very, very close. A year ago, we used Midjourney quite a bit. A year ago, it
okay,
was maybe a year and a half ago,
yeah,
so like every 6 months, there's like it's like a times 2 like improvement to how it
absolutely,
is. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's happening. Same thing in research, right? Like in B2B research, I recently read about the co-founder, I think the ex-co-founders of LinkedIn launched this company called Evidenza, which helps you with building your buyer personas for B2B companies. I can foresee this exact same thing happening for e-commerce as well, right? Because if you want to make good ads, you want to make good landing pages, good emails, the basis of all of this is research. If you don't do good research, you can't translate those in. You don't have any insights that you can translate into good copy, into good visuals, into good structures of whatever content you're building. And I can foresee
Communicating in a voice also in a voice that the customer, speaking to the customer's why. I follow Jackie Spitzer, the owner of Raindrop, and
Right.
he's
Yeah.
done a couple talks on that. It's like speaking to the customers. Why it's like positioning as brands. We often talk about the features of our products. That's one thing as a run brands, as one small sort of micro example.
Yeah.
But for years we've been talking about what's it's pile height, it's construction, but it's really about creating, it's making having the consumer imagine how they're going to feel owning the product. And so in your tool, I guess, do you guys think about sort of copy flavor? With you guys with Sidekick, you're able to upload I can give it a link and it's going to create a composition for me of copy. I have to give it the images, but
Yeah.
Sidekick will populate the copy ready to go in just a couple minutes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can you tune what sort of tuning do you guys, I mean, you guys are tuning in behind the scenes, you guys are tuning it to sort of speak to the customer and like position, do the copywriting basically in a way that's relevant to
Yeah.
the customer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So at the moment, what's happening is when you upload when you enter your URL, we're reading your site to understand what kind of brand voice you're using, right? And then we try to replicate that, but you can change the options. There's one basic option, and all text editing tools like Jasper and any other tool that you would use for copy generation works pretty much in that exact same way that you can change. You have like 5 to 8 options. You can select whichever ones you want. The way to take it to the next level would actually be if we can now start. So one thing that we always do with our customers at the agency is whenever we start with a new customer, we first do a survey to all the customers. And when the results come back, we run a series of steps to start, qualifying the responses from the customers and start grouping them in certain ways. And then we love using internally the jobs to be done framework.
Jobs to be done framework. Okay.
Yeah, the jobs to be done framework. There's a few different ways to do your audience research. That's the one that we prefer because we find those insights to be very helpful when we make emails. What we want to even build within Sidekick is the ability to do that. So you have an option to run a survey email campaign with your customers, and when the responses come back, you can again automate this so that because right now we're using ChatGPT completely to do this, to codify all the responses, to group them, and to extract insights. So all of these steps can hopefully soon be done within the app itself, and that gives you that can actually, it helps the AI a lot in generating copy that doesn't sound like AI. So whenever I hear people complain that, oh, this thing sounds a lot like AI, most often the issue is with the prompt itself. Like, it's constructed in a very generic way, and you have to prompt GPT in a certain way to ensure that it's not doing a lot of the common things it does, which makes it sound like AI. So that's one. The other important thing is, if you don't give GPT unique insights about your business, then it's gonna, it's gonna talk about all rugs and all socks and all t-shirts in the exact same way until you can give it some very specific things that your customers love about your rugs. Or your t-shirts or your socks, and then it can start incorporating them within the message, and that's how your AI copy no longer sounds like AI.
Cool. So when I sign up to Sidekick as a brand, I'm going to be answering questions, kind of feeding it information about our tone. At the same time, I think you said it's going to scan our website and scan copy in some use cases.
Yeah, so there's multiple levels of these summaries that go into the prompt, and one of them is that you fill in what you want, the direction that you want to head in, right? Just sometimes what happens is, let's say we take copy from your website, but if that was also either written by an external partner that you just approved it because you had to get the project moving and you're not fully satisfied with it, or maybe you used AI to generate it from a different app. Once again, as a business owner, as a small business owner, you're often making choices that, okay, this isn't perfect, but I can't do anything about it right now. It's more important to get this thing launched than it is to sit and make it perfect. Pixel perfect, exactly. We are reading your website, and we are summarizing based on that what kind of emails you want to see, but maybe that's not the email you want to see. Maybe you want the voice to evolve. So then we're building within the tool certain parameters to help you modify that voice as well. And over time, if I'm thinking a year ahead, in fact, what we want to do is, as you send out emails, it's going to track the performance of every single email, right? So you have the opportunity to try out different brand voices, different email types that you're sending out, different products that you're highlighting, and over time, it can actually learn which products do the
That's the
best
unlock.
emails, which kind of brand voice drives the most sales for you, and
That's an
then
unlock.
create all of those learnings to make the emails even better.
That's an unlock. So you're creating this sort of feedback loop.
Exactly.
It's gonna
Yeah.
it's gonna know my brand. It's studying my brand on my website,
Yeah.
potentially other touch points too. I would imagine Instagram, it's scanning, down the line. I'm not sure if this is a feature, but it's gathering information about my brand, but it's also got integration to Klaviyo, which I think you have now, where you're going to be collecting that data from Klaviyo as to the type of emails that are working
Yeah.
and start to then, you can then create a recommendations engine. It's like, hey, you've sent X amount of emails over this last quarter.
Right.
These are
Yes.
the types that performed well. Here's where your opportunities are. Just kind of create like a simple dashboard.
Yeah.
If you want to increase your revenue 10%, send more of these type of emails.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
that's
exactly right.
that's
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome. Are you going to store information about my brand and other brands? So you mentioned ChatGPT is very it can be very generic. If there's no specifics about the brand, it's going to be very blank. It's going to be very basic.
Mm.
So how do you so now you're going to have multiple brands on the platform. Will you be able to then have I guess, how are you thinking about personas and like maybe even giving direction, like helping support the brand to further their persona, or like giving them creative direction? I guess, how is that going to, what's the interface going to be? I think you guys already have those controls. But how are you guys thinking about that?
It's pretty simple. You get a few fields with some labels where we prompt you that, hey, write something unique about your brand, or if your brand was a superhero, what would it be? Right. So these are some ways we're thinking about collecting those insights from brand owners. And or idea with this, honestly, is that we want to see, like, we need responses from users to figure out if this is the right way to do this or not.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the very first level of us trying to extract insights directly from you and inserting that within the prompt so that we can have some very customized copy that doesn't sound generic at all. And over time, what we want to do is for every brand have their own fine-tuned GPT model that, once you send 20 to 30 emails, you can have your own GPT model that's not shared with anybody else. So
Yeah.
now it's very specifically talking only on behalf of your brand.
Yeah.
Another thing that we also want to do this is also very long term in the future, is actually combine the results across different clients if they decide to share permission. So just like in Google Analytics, you can decide to share whether you want to share your data and you don't want to share your data.
Yep.
There's a few. We want to give brands the option that, hey, you can now share data with others. The benefit of sharing would be everybody gets the benefit from the shared learning. So this wouldn't impact much in terms of brand voice, but it would be very helpful in understanding for different industries what kind of emails actually work the best. Because we can now aggregate this data across, hundreds of different rug brands,
Clients.
let's
Yep.
say, and now all of you guys can now benefit from that. So that's another way that we're thinking of really enhancing the data so that we can make better emails.
Yep. Awesome, man. Leadership and culture, I guess, how are you thinking about sort of the values of sort of building a startup, like in terms of like where you've gotten today, and what do you think about as you go forward and build the culture of your company? How would you describe the culture at Sidekick?
Yeah, so right now it's mostly within friends, so it's a bit different. So far, fortunately, we haven't had any issues that we were worried about. Like, when you go from being friends to working with somebody, it can be because you've never worked with them before, so you like them as a friend, but who knows whether you're gonna like them as a coworker. So I'd already done that with my wife in the past because we formed the agency together. So I was confident that there wasn't going to be any issues related to that. But my best friend, he's actually good friends with me and my wife, both of us. So we were a bit concerned about how that's going to play out. But fortunately, it's been working pretty well now. We all have our roles. It's all very clearly defined. And ultimately, I think we all agree that we are here to have fun. We are doing this because, of course we would love to make a lot of money, but the main reason why I see myself as somebody who loves learning. I'm constantly, that's why I consider myself a thought follower. Like, I'm just following the thoughts of all incredible people
You're
on
humble. You don't give yourself enough credit.
yeah, I don't know, man. I look at incredible people who are doing incredible things, and I my goal is I want to build something incredible as well. Like I'd get so much joy when somebody, like yourself, uses Sidekick and says that, wow, this was actually used it and it was so easy, and we made an email in a few minutes. Just like that gives me so much joy, and it's the same for my co-founders. Like we all love the feeling that we have built something incredible. So we're, if you think about it, we're going really slow. We have been working at it for over a year now, and we're still in beta, and we don't want to launch a half-baked product. If I speak to any professionals who are perhaps SaaS industry veterans, I think the advice would be very different. It's like, no, just build and ship, build and ship, build and ship. We're like, that's great, but we'll be honest, like, we don't have SaaS experience. We have never grown a SaaS business. So I guess, yeah, with any first venture, you're going to make a lot of mistakes and learn. That's what we're doing. You're making a lot of mistakes. We're trying to learn from them, but we're trying to have fun along the way. So that's
It
right now.
shows.
That it's just,
Yeah, awesome, man.
maximize our enjoyability with working on the project. And so far it's been very exciting for all of us. We're all learning new skills. I've had to learn a little bit of programming as well. I never thought I'd do that in my life, but it turned out to be great. So yeah, man, that's basically the culture at the moment.
That's awesome, bro. Friendship that's turned into creating this new product. The passion definitely shows. I mean, the passion. I think I emailed you like on a weekend, on like a Saturday. I forget what day it was, but it was an odd hour, and I think you had responded right away, and you were very helpful. And so it's that passion definitely shows as a business owner, as a founder. Just kind of your energy, and just seeing your energy and seeing the success of Sidekick makes me happy personally, selfishly.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see someone that's just, taking an idea and a passion and being intentional about it. And as you just pointed out, it's not just about shipping it, but it's about creating something of value and when it feels right. So it's a great story, man. I'm wishing you continued success. And thank you for creating this product, because it's genuinely made my teams and my life easier. And we're excited to following the journey. Where can people follow you? You're on the regular. I know LinkedIn. You are. You're very active. Are there any other channels you'd recommend for people to follow you?
Right now, I'm only on LinkedIn, but yeah, the plan has always been to kind of evolve from there and add a few more. So I'm hoping to experiment soon with TikTok and YouTube. To be first, I'm not very I haven't done a lot of video in the past, so it's gonna be completely new. Let's see how that goes. But yeah, for now, if you want to get in touch with me, just message me on LinkedIn, and I'll respond as soon as I'm able to.
Oh, awesome, brother. You mentioned you also have a newsletter.
I do have a newsletter. Yeah, you can find the link on my LinkedIn profile, actually.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah.
Amazing, man. Cool. Khaled, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing the continued growth of Sidekick. Thanks so much.
Amazing. Thank you, man. Thank you for inviting me on. It was amazing to chat with you once again. And yeah, I hope people find value out of this episode.